All right, the dog days of summer are here, and so is another new episode of the Rocker Dog Podcast, the only show out there talking to musicians about their bestest boys and goodest girls. I'm your host, Tim Dill. My Hall of Fame-worthy dog is Charlie, and today we bring you our canine-centered talk with Vaden Todd Lewis of the Texas rock stalwarts Toadies, who have a full-length album produced by the late, great Steve Albini, ready to roll for late this year or early next. And these are his misunderstood rocker dogs.
We're talking about Fauci and Coconut.
All right. Now, very interesting name. I get a lot of David Bowie references with like Ziggy's and Bowie, but Fauci and...
Well, we got her during when lockdown started. We got her from a Saving Hope, I believe, was the rescue.
Okay.
So we thought, well, nobody will remember who Dr. Fauci is when this all blows over. And we alienated a lot of our hometown with the name because it got so political. But yeah, we got Fauci then, and then there she is. And Coconut she's a Amstaff Terrier. We got him as a rescue. A family told us they weren't allowed a pit bull.
Okay.
So we got him. They told us he was a couple of years old, but it turns out he was not. He was he was huge, but very young. So we got him, and his name was Coco, and that just didn't work for us. So we named him Coconut.
Right. And so Fauci was first, Coconut was second.
Sure.
Going back to, I think it was April 2020 was his gotcha day. What drove you to get the dog at that time?
It just seemed like the right time. I had, and then we had together a herding dog named Rufus, who was the best dog ever. And my wife, Rachel, was not a dog person when we met forever ago. And he kind of turned her into a dog person, like hardcore. So, but he was up in years, very much up in years, and not doing the greatest at health. So we thought, well, we'll bring a puppy around and maybe that'll cheer him up. And yeah, so they hung out for a little while, and then he went his way.
Well, speaking of your wife, many times when I do this podcast, as you can imagine, there's not a whole lot of places to do research besides social media. So mm-hmm. I see yours, I see your photos and your captions, and then I see your wife. So I go to your wife's page and I check out her photos and captions. And to your point, she did write, I did not start out as a dog person, but because of Rufus, I'm now the crazy dog lady.
Yeah.
Now, as a witness to that, how did you see that take place? I mean, how did she get won over so quick and so hard?
Well, I guess when we were dating and serious, and she still had her apartment in a loft in Deep Ellum in Dallas, and I would go on tour, and I needed a place to keep my dog. So I kind of just threw her into it, and I think that's what he won her over, because he was a real special dog.
Well, he does look like a heeler type, and given that breed, very active. Mm-hmm. They want to be mentally stimulated. They want to be physically stimulated. Did that fit into your lifestyle?
I would throw the ball for him. I'm terrible at dogging. I try to get them out and walk them, but I'm just not disciplined enough, and I have to discipline them. And and this guy is 80 pounds, and when he doesn't want to go somewhere, you're not going. So, right. Or you're going the direction he wants to go. So try to stay healthy, but I wouldn't say I'm super active.
Okay. And was that a trait that maybe synced up with your wife? And I'm speaking specifically of Rufus, like him being a heeler and being very active.
I think he wasn't like super, like
get me out.
Yeah, exactly. He wasn't like that. He was pretty chill, but she tells a story about when she was walking him at night in Deep Ellum, and he stopped on the leash and started growling, and there was a guy down the street that she hadn't even seen yet, yeah. And he alerted to this guy, and that would just won her over right there, I think.
That's great. Now, history-wise, do you have dogs that go back to your childhood?
Yeah, I've always had a dog.
Any profound dogs that kind of stick out or, made a lasting impact on you?
Um, I guess I got Rufus, got him from the pound because he reminded me of a childhood dog, Lucky, which was a miniature, like not miniature, but a small, like a little lassie dog, but the small
Okay.
kind.
Collie.
Collie. Yeah, he was a cool dog. So, and then
Okay.
I was looking, time for me to get a dog as in my adult life, and I'm like, I saw this guy at the pound, and like that was the one. Side note, I've learned that if you pick a dog up, if you get a dog at the pound that's over a couple of years old, maybe 3 years old, they know that they've been rescued.
Like saved.
Like, yeah, it's just it's nuts. They're super loyal and doesn't want to run away. Just
Yeah.
like, yeah, it was uh, got him in the car, and he just changed. He just became a different dog, and that was who he was.
Yeah.
So
I see that a lot. I mean, unfortunately, I haven't had the opportunity because I've got a spoiled dog that can't stand other dogs. But when I volunteer at the shelter on their social pages, you see so many times the dogs, just seeing a shelter dog sleep in a home on a couch, you can just see the relief.
yeah, totally.
Now, going through your Instagram, there's one other dog, Cooper. Was that one of your dogs, or was that like a work? Sometimes I wanted to think it was your
Yeah,
wife's
that was
like
uh that
office
was one of
dog.
our that was one of our dogs. Rachel and I got that together, got that dog from a pound when we had bought our house. Yeah, he was a little terrier mix, but my theory on dogs is mixes are the best because they get the best genes and the best qualities. But this guy got the short end of the stick from from these little breeds on all sides. He had bad knees and like his teeth were all messed up. He was a grumpy old bastard.
Well, I did see back, this is back September 2018, he became a tripod. So he lost
Yes.
one of his leg. Which leg did he lose? Or
Back right. I
okay.
think it
And
was the
did
back right.
he adapt well, or was he at an age where it was just kind of the final straw?
Oh, he didn't care.
Okay.
Yeah, it didn't phase him. He walked out of the surgery like
Jeez.
super doped up, but he walked out. Yeah, that any vet you talk to will say they're born a tripod with an extra leg. Like they
Okay.
don't care.
That's great. I've never heard of that, but that's funny. Well, given the podcast is called Rocker Dog, and I do seek out musicians to talk about their dogs, I often look to see if there's any kind of crossover with the dogs and the music, and that's usually in the form of, do the dogs ever, do they ever go on tour with you? Do they ever go to gigs?
No, no. That'd just be a lot for me.
Yeah.
I see bands doing it. I'm like, "Man, I wish I would have gotten that started early on." But we do, like we'll be in a bus and then we'll fly while the bus travels or whatever. So
Yeah.
it's kind of not feasible. But yeah, these are just home dogs. They're good about having music around the house. They're chill whenever loud music goes on, or I'm playing guitar or singing or whatever. So yeah, this one, Coconut, it took him a while. For the longest time, I would pick up a guitar and he would go, nope, and he would just leave the room. And I wouldn't see him. And then like a week later, I would pick up a guitar and he would walk outside the room. And then he was just inside the door. And gradually he's in here, he's just sitting at my feet. So it's like he just figures out that it's not scary.
Okay. And that's Coconut, right? You said?
Yeah.
Okay. Because there is a great picture of Fauci at your feet at your rehearsal studio.
Oh yeah. I took her over there. She opened up. I was doing the same thing. I was prepping for like I'm going to do as soon as I get done with this to start prepping for some shows coming up, where I get a guitar and I play music and I sing over it and try to get everything opened up. And she just like curled right into the guitar case and went right to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are you the owner of the rehearsal space, the Loop?
yeah. My wife and I opened it in 2016. We started building it in 2016. We opened it in 2017.
Well, is the Loop dog friendly? Do you have a dog policy?
We don't necessarily have one, but yeah, we just had a band in there. We do. If you have want a lot of time, we do a lockout. We have a big hourly room with a PA, and so we have had like Leon Bridges has been in there, and Disney has rented it, and all these people have come through and rented it, and because it's pretty affordable for the size it is, and the touring acts will come through, park a bus in front, and then do several days in the hourly room. And to get to your point, the last one was like, okay, we're here, but I forgot to ask if we could let a dog inside. I'm like, yeah, let the dog inside. So it's
Perfect.
fine.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, on the, on this path of the band, where the band and the dogs mix, I often go to merchandise, and there's just one piece I need to pick out for you, and that's why are there cats on a Toadies shirt?
Oh, I don't know. I think we just thought it would be funny.
And then one more item. It's not your merch, but in your wife's feed. There's bandanas with your wife and your face on it that the dogs are wearing.
Yeah, somebody gave us, I think her sister gave us, yeah, it was for Christmas, pajamas for my wife and I with the dogs' faces, and
Nice.
bandanas for the dogs with our faces. And I forgot to take the bandanas off when I took him to the vet the last time. And I don't know why I found that really embarrassing, but yeah, I love looking at myself on my dog. Sure,
That's funny. And are these two your first experience with pits?
yes, yeah. I had that mindset that a lot of people still have, that pits are bad. There's scary dogs, yada yada, and like I would like when we were going to get. When we were started thinking about a dog, Fauci, I was like, I don't know, that head's kind of square. I don't want a square-headed dog. And but that's just it's all nurture.
Yeah. It sounds like you had to make a decision like, well, let me get over my misconceptions.
Yeah, well, I just we got real serious about this one dog, and this one you had to sometimes you have to go through a lot of hoops
Yeah.
to adopt, and we were doing that. So I just started looking up stuff and doing a little bit of well, there's nothing else to do. We were in lockdown,
Yeah.
so I'd already watched all the television. So anyway, we were I just researched and just started seeing some stories about how that's just a myth, really.
Yeah. No, that's they're a very unfairly maligned breed.
Yeah, we actually do things, like a little benefits. I'll be out of town, unfortunately, on this little run, but some of our really good friends own comedy clubs, and like one of their comedy clubs is here in Fort Worth, and they're big pit bull lovers too. They do rescues and fosters and stuff, and so at their comedy club, they're hosting a love pit event, which I think I sent a link.
Oh,
Uh,
yep.
and they're going to have puppies. They're going to have comedians. They're going to have. I'm so pissed that I can't be at this thing. But anyway, we try to do those things whenever we can.
That's great. I think the woman who heads up, gosh, I forget the name. It's Stand Up for Pits. Yeah, Stand Up for Pits is a stand-up comedian. That's
Oh, nice.
kind of her background. Well, I wind down the show with what I call the Zoomies, and that's 5 fast, frivolous questions. The first one is a test for any germaphobe out there, but do you allow your dogs to lick your face?
I don't disallow it.
Okay.
I generally
Do you
don't
feel that
like
you
that.
have a choice?
I don't often have a choice. A weird fact about Coconut that we didn't learn until we had had him for a while, and I'd never seen this. The vet had never heard of it happening before, but he had like weird, his lower jaw was all weird, and he had an infection, and he eats really weird and drinks water really weird. And like the front half of his tongue is just doesn't work. It's paralyzed or whatever. So he can't lick you. It's which is kind of sad,
Yeah.
because you can hear him trying and he thinks he is, but it's like it's the weirdest thing. But as a result, also he just drools just nonstop. I mean, you can when we're getting ready to go out at night, like, okay, you just stay over there because if he
Right.
comes near you, you're gonna have just a smear of drool on you. And but yeah, it's just the weirdest thing. I'm glad we figured it out.
Yeah, it sounds like poor Coconut. So question 2 is, do Fauci or Coconut have a theme song?
No, but that's something I should work on, being a musician.
I was going to say it could work two ways. It's either like walk up music to the plate, like what would their popular song that's out there be, or to your point, have they, do you
Oh man,
concoct
honestly,
names as they eat their
Ra-
breakfast every
Rachel
day?
would probably have a better answer for that or answer.
Okay.
Um, Damn it. Yeah, I need to get to think on that.
Okay. Question three is really what their likes are all about, and it's put in the context of if they were on tour with you, what would they want on their tour rider?
Oh man, they love when we have to give them pills, we put some of that soft food,
Oh yeah.
little pouch.
Yeah.
That would just be all. That's the whole list, I think.
It's like the pill pouches minus the pills.
Yes.
Okay. Question four is, do you have a dog voice?
Oh, yeah.
I won't make you do it to spare anybody embarrassment, but can you describe it? Is it just the cliche of high pitch, or does it go
Oh
beyond
no,
that?
we do like baby talk and stupid crap like that.
Okay. Do you ever channel a voice, like what they imagine what they would sound like humanized?
Not really a voice so much as with Coconut. It's just kind of the doop doo doop doo doop doo,
Right.
the circus music that
Yeah,
whenever he's
yeah,
just walking around, that's what I hear.
yeah, yeah. All right, and I wind things up with question five. I just simply ask if there's a dog organization or service you'd like to give a shout out, and you did mention that one. What's it called? The Love Pit.
Love Pit, yeah.
So that's Love Pit Dog Rescue. And to your point, I saw your wife recently was at a Cupid, a play on
Hmm.
Cupid fundraiser around March 1st. So
Yeah, yeah.
sounds like a
She,
lot of fun.
she also just went to a pit bull Pilates.
Is
So
that
that's
Pilates where they bring in pit bulls to kind of mix around? And
little
that's great.
puppies, which
That's
there's more
great.
alliteration there if they would put puppy. I don't know. I didn't do their advertising.
All right. Well, before we wrap up altogether, I want to throw a little bit of music into play. And a little bird told me that there might be new music coming along. Can you confirm
Yeah,
or deny?
yeah, yeah. I can confirm. We actually have we self-financed a whole album, and we're just waiting on just all the BS that goes into the business to see about getting it put out. We were hoping to drop it this fall, but it's looking like it might be pushed into early next year. So we recorded a whole album with Steve Albini, and we completed it with him less than 2 months before he passed. So yeah, that whole record is done. The artwork's done. It's so frustrating because it's ready to be pressed, and the gears just need to start moving.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we look forward to it. Well, Vaden, thank you so much for taking time to talk to me. I know this podcast is a little out of the ordinary, but whenever I get a tip on a dog person that's in the industry, I'm eager to talk to them. So thanks for your time.
I enjoyed it.
Carl, you're a damn good dog.